Hey, this is Cy from Music Radar. We are here with Dan from Stylophone, and we are going to talk about this, the DF-8,
yes,
which is a new thing you guys are showing.
Brand new.
And I've got to say, I'm excited to talk about this because this is right up my street. It's like small and noisy and the sort of thing I really like. Tell people what's going on here. So it's a dual filter unit, is that correct?
Exactly. So by definition, the name says dynamic multi-filter. And so on the surface, it can be either a stereo filter, it can be a filter ran in series, or just a filter ran in parallel. So what we've done is we've added 8 different filter options from our original traditional Gen R8 filter, which we've kind of made around 2018, and that stems from our original Gen R8.
Yep.
And then what we've done is we've also tried to recreate the traditional 2045 filter, which is sort of more famous for Daft Punk, Madonna, that French house kind of movement. So it's been described by the engineers as kind of the beauty and the beast of filters, where the Gen R8 is known for its squelchy, squealing, aggressive tones. The 2045, on the other hand, is a lot softer, more mellow, that French house kind of sound. And what we've done with the 2045, traditionally it was just a 24 dB low pass filter, but we've gone ahead and added on top of that a Gen R8 filter to just give us more options, to give us our notch plus, our band resistance, and our band pass filter. Now, on this unit, all of the filters all self-resonate once you get to around that 3 o'clock range. So all options of the Gen 8 and all options of the 2445. Now what we've done, since the 2045 is a lot softer, we've made that resonating peak be the stronger predominant one, so it still stands out and shines. But again, with this 2 sections, you can essentially have 4 self-resonating peaks by the high pass and the low pass, just all spiking. And again, this filter, these are 2 completely identical filters that can be run in series, parallel, or anything that you would necessarily
And you can have some, because I was playing around with this earlier, you can have some stereo stuff going on as well,
Exactly.
Right?
So we have this switch here, which stacks it down in a mono, left and right, or mono just 1, 2. But then as soon as you go to stereo, it turns it into a complete stereo filter pair. So it hard pans 1 left, hard pans 2 right, so you can basically send a stereo source into it and use it as a stereo filter. Now what we've also done is we've added this little cutoff link and envelope link knob here to make it function exactly as a stereo filter would. So they can all be linked together. You can have the one envelope controlling both of them to make it completely a unified stereo pair, or if you wanted, you can have the stereo oscillators completely independent and shaping through them as you want. Now, on the surface, it just says a multi-dynamic filter, but we've gone ahead and added so much more into the mix. We went ahead and added a double ADSR envelope that can also loop, go from linear to exponential. We've added a sample and hold that can either be slewed or gated as it normally is. We have a delay that you can control the repeats, and you can use the envelope to modulate the time a little bit. And on my personal favorite feature is these little trigger buttons down here. Now what these do, they can simply just be a trigger button to trigger your envelope 1 and 2, or what it can be is if you turn the threshold on, turn this knob on, we can see that as I start to send an incoming signal from drone 1 into any audio 1, and it can be any audio source, as soon as the audio source passes the threshold, we see the trigger starts to engage. So this can act as essentially a pumper, a ducker, or an envelope follower. But what's even more fun about it is, say you route a kick drum into filter 1, turn off filter 1 so you can't hear it, route the kick drum out into audio 1, invert the envelope, then bada boom, you have a trigger. You basically making sidechain compression out of this filter. So it can be pumping, it can be ducking, it can be sidechain compression.
So you can do a few different things with this one thing.
Exactly.
So also the fact that, like, obviously you've got this set up on the desktop here, like paired with one of your other devices, but there's kind of like all these sort of patchable ins and outs. Do you see this like fitting into a modular rig as well as like a desktop thing?
That is the exact concept. So these screws here, these are all standard Eurorack, 3mm screws. You can take them out. I believe it's 42 HP, and it just comes out standard Eurorack power cable, can fit into any Eurorack power supply without any issues. And I believe it's about 150 millivolts or something, like very low power supply for 42 HP. So it can fit with any synth. So the idea behind this was, if you're interested in modular, this could be your first modular synth, but if you're deep down the rabbit hole, this can fill out a lot of gaps in your case that you may have wanted a couple modules for, but hey, you could just get one to fill all those gaps right then and there.
Nice, cool.
Exactly.
So finally, can you tell us, like, when this is going to be available for you to get our hands on, and what sort of price point we're looking at?
Yeah, so we're hoping for about a mid-September release point to have it ready for the public. This is just a prototype. This is sort of the first one we have, so there's a couple of quirks that we want to figure out and make sure it's all working as expected. But we're really going for September release, and we're going to keep it around the same price point as the DS2, which is around $280 US.
Awesome. Great.
Exactly,
I mean,
yeah.
importantly, let's get you around this side now and let's hear how it sounds in
Let's
action.
make some noise.
Nice.